With us now, Democratic Congressman Henry Cuellar of Texas, who's been talking about this for a long time. Noteworthy that 3 of those counties are in your district, Starr County, that I visited when I went down to the border a number of times. 138 years it's gone Democratic, and now it went Republican in this election. Latinos are not monolithic, but if we talk about Latinos in your district, in Texas, in these areas, did they vote for Donald Trump because of the promises on the border, immigration, deportations, or despite those promises?
Look, I think the Latinos or the Hispanics in my district voted for Donald Trump because of 3 things. The 3 I's, what we call the 3 I's: immigration, inflation, and of course, the issue dealing with high interest rates. So, but especially the cost. When you look at it, people didn't want to talk about cultural issues, or were not interested in celebrities. What they wanted is somebody that could talk to about kitchen tables. What's a price of let's say eggs or bread or milk? That's what they were interested in. They saw this every day. And again, a lot of people think just because we're Hispanics, we believe in open borders. No, I can tell you that for years I've been talking about how people want law and order, treat the migrants with respect and dignity. But at the end of the day, they should be returned for the ones that can't not stay here.
My fiance and I were talking about this last night, about why Democrats sort of espouse open borders and they think that the Latino vote then follows. I told her it sort of became a reflection of Donald Trump because Democrats wanted to be against all things Donald Trump was for, especially in 2017. So therefore, Donald Trump wanted to close the border. They had to want to open it. But I'm wondering if it's not more complicated than that, because something like if you commit a felony, you're going to be deported as an illegal immigrant doesn't seem that hard to say. And yet for Democrats, other than perhaps you, it's impossible. Why is that?
Well, look, when I ask my constituents about people that should be returned, they'll say yes. I don't know about this mass deportation because simply, I do the appropriations for ICE. We don't have the capacity, but I think we need to focus. Any criminals should be returned as soon as possible, number 1. Number 2, there's over 1 million final deportation orders. People that got given their final order to be returned and they're here. That's another group of people that we can certainly look at. Otherwise, we don't have a rule of law. So again, for anybody that feels that we believe in open borders because we're Hispanics, that's wrong. We believe in law and order at the border.
It's stunning to me, the flip side, and I got in trouble in this in our first segment, but it was stunning to me that Republicans don't focus more on the 2 things you just said, which makes sense, and would force Democrats to have to be against the 2 very simple things you laid out, but never underestimate Republicans' ability to screw things up. Something that Democrats seem to also have a problem on, and Seth Moulton, sort of moderate congressman, I guess you could say, from Massachusetts, brought this up as well. This was a problem in Hispanic communities about boys in girls' sports. Caught a lot of flack. One of his staff members resigned for saying, I have 2 little girls. I don't want them getting run over on a playing field by a male or formerly male athlete. But as a Democrat, I'm supposed to be afraid to say that. One, are you seeing Democrats now unburdened by what was and by the restrictions of what was? But more importantly, why was that so hard to say? Why was what you just said about immigration so hard to say for Democrats before the election?
Look, I know Seth, he's a good man, and he speaks very straightforward. And I think what he was trying to say was that, there are certain issues that should not be the rallying call for Democrats. I mean, we ought to have the kitchen table issues as a rally call. How do we make life better for individuals? How do we secure the border? How do we, just the basic things that people are important. I always say this. I'm a congressman, but I run as a mayor. I want to know what's important to the people on the ground and not, look at some cultural issues and make that a rallying call.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.